listening to the Musìda Podcast with Muslimah and Arsida.
Unfiltered conversation at the intersection of faith, culture, neurodivergence, and healing.
We believe silence perpetuates transgenerational trauma, and speaking up is how we begin to heal the collective.
Two women, two cultures, one mic. Let's get into it.
Assalamu alaikum. Here we are at our first episode today with Muslimah and Arsida. Wow, we are starting from scratch. As you see, Muslimah is in her car right now. I am just in my room. And yeah, who knows? Maybe one day we'll have her own studio because she is living way far away from me.
Yeah.
So it's this distance that kind of is keeping us this way. But let's start with first introducing ourselves. This will be like just a little thriller or trailer.
Yeah, teaser.
Trailer. Yeah,
into
teaser. Into the whole discussions, topics we will be talking about during the episodes and the seasons. So yeah, I'm excited. How about you, Ms. Dama?
so excited. I know we had so many bloopers before, but
Yes,
yeah, we're
oh my
finally
God.
into it. Like you said, my favorite quote is start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I had the whole office set up and everything, but my kids are loud. So yeah, I guess we could just get into it. Do you want to start on like who you are, where you came from, and
Yes.
I'll do
Yes.
after.
So, I am Musìda Rejai. I am a mental coach, author, entrepreneur, and I really, really love talking about like mental health, my passions, and everything. I am also like Albanian, but I live in Belgium, and I came here as 1 years old baby because my parents like decided to emigrate through the sea, like a lot of Albanians did that time. And yeah, like the story continued with us being for 12 years without any legal, like, how can you say, legal,
Like, or you want like legal aid or something?
yeah, like we didn't have like any card to stay, or we were kind of illegal, you know?
Oh, okay. I think the
Yeah,
U.S.
so for 12 years we were not able to kind of, travel or whatever. We just had to stay kind of hidden
Oh
to
yeah.
not get in trouble. And then yeah, alhamdulillah, we got established with everything, documentations, and then we could actually start our life and start living. But still, I was dealing with a lot of trauma from my parents. They were also sick. I had to go through a very dark period for me in order to be the mental coach I am today, because I kind of had to embrace all this darkness for me in
Right.
order to be able to shine my light, and also to be able to help right now other women like me who were before struggling, not wanting like to continue with life and all these like heavy stuff. So yeah.
And I guess introduce me to now.
Yes.
Yeah, Muslimah, certified holistic wellness, spiritual embodiment coach, but better known as the spiritual awakening catalyst. And yeah, that's what I kind of like to go by. I am second generation born, well, not born, first generation born Muslim. My parents were first generation. I was born in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people may or may not know that I was born in Saudi Arabia because my dad was studying at the University of Medina there. And when I was 6 months is my first time I came back to the U.S. to visit family, and I went back, and then I came back when I was 4. So I'm still a U.S. citizen. A lot of people like to think, oh, you were born in Saudi Arabia, or
Yeah.
But the way Saudi Arabia works is both your parents have to be citizens. So none of my parents we're just Black Americans, and we were just there.
Yes.
So now I'm like a citizen born abroad. And in my work, I specifically like to work with neurodivergence, those who are unmasking, those who have been late diagnosed, and those who have gone through trauma, because usually a lot of neurodivergence are susceptible to manipulation, trauma, childhood trauma,
Yes.
and kind of just unraveling all those layers of your being, but then also of your mask, and finding who you are underneath all of those layers. What else? I'm a mom of 6, the oldest. of
Oh, I forgot to say
9.
that too. I'm a mom
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to add that real quick?
Yeah, I have two daughters.
Yes, I have
Yes,
6, so 4 boys and 2 girls, and I'm the oldest of 9, so came from a big family,
mashallah.
have a big family. And what am I missing?
Like, what do you maybe like to do in your free time, your passions? Like, what kind of
Oh yeah,
spirit do you have? Like, what kind of soul do you like? Are you?
oh yeah. In addition to that, I love nature. That's probably one of my favorite things. Nature, writing, reading, dancing. I'm just into the beauty of life in general, romanticizing
Oh, I
life,
love that.
and
Me too. Hmm.
but yeah. So 2 neurodivergent Muslim women, 2 cultures, a Black American,
Yes,
Albanian, but just one unfiltered conversation. And why did we start? I like to say that we definitely started because there's so much silence around a lot of topics, sensitive
yes. Hmm.
topics, and that needs to be spoken up because once you are silent and you suppress, you don't have awareness, and that's how the
No.
cycles continue. And then
Hmm.
also, studies and research have shown that, particularly for women who silence and suppress themselves, it can lead to inflammation, chronic illnesses, even heart
Yes.
attack and death. So we're talking about life and death right here.
Hmm.
We're talking about life and death. It's time to speak up.
Yes.
Somebody's got to say it, right? And we
Yes, of course.
and we're the ones. So here we
Yeah,
are.
we are already doing a lot of things also for our home first, and then we're also able to do this talking because we're doing it also in our real life and not just the talking, the theory aspect. So let's dive deeper into like our first episode, what
Yeah.
we will dive deep into.
What can people expect? All of the things that we're
Yeah,
gonna talk about, right? We're gonna talk about it all, okay?
no
Faith,
filtered.
yeah, like neurodivergence, healing faith, sexuality,
Yes.
trauma, sexual trauma. That is something that's really big that we don't talk about. That
Mm-hmm.
is something that, because that's where a lot of shame come from. So
Yes.
shame, emotions, things that are not talking about in the Muslim community, the
Mm-hmm.
things that are happening like with just the organizations with, we talk about Muslim women who've been in
Yeah.
abuse and trying to seek
Mm-hmm.
help, and them saying you need to get patience, and like certain
Yeah, all
things like
these,
that.
yeah, this
And
abusive man.
so conversations that's not being talked about, but then also some ways you can start bringing awareness into your own family, in your
Mm-hmm.
household, like with yourself and your children, and
Yes.
how to start healing too. Kind of just continuing that conversation we have, right? For all those who had tuned in for our Coming Home, we did a 3-part series on Instagram, Coming Home, a
Yes.
Sacred Reclamation, which was healing trauma and reclaiming wholeness at the intersection of culture and motherhood. So we're just expanding that.
Yes, and now we're just like being more unfiltered and
Yeah.
like I know there will be a lot of people be offended maybe because they think that, especially for my community, like they will think that yeah, maybe, oh no, these topics are a little bit too delicate, because yeah, men can kind of, those toxic men or patriarchal men, they can kind of see it as a threat because like women using their voices or being powerful
Mm,
is a little bit threatening to them.
yeah.
So yeah, we will step on some toes. We're sorry for that, but yeah, anyways, we have to continue with our mission.
Yeah, I was say talk a little bit about that, about the culture, in your culture, what is considered taboo and what you want to
Oh, a
unsilence.
lot of stuff. Like even sexuality and all these things, especially also coming from a Muslim, because they think, I don't know why they have created this mindset, but they kind of see it as, yeah, I'm a Muslim and I have to be shy and I have to not talk about these things. It's shameful, but they don't understand that me talking about these things, educating others about these topics does not mean that I am like being outgoing or I'm experimenting all these stuff like outside. It's not that you have to like that you educate people on certain things, that you agree, with certain practices or whatever. The fact that you're talking about it is really you bringing more awareness to it, and also making it possible for other women who are scared to talk or to speak up. They have the ability to then be inspired to not get that shame, and
Yeah.
in our culture it is not so like supported, this idea of women, especially Muslim women, talking about this stuff. they're like, oh, be quiet, as you said, have sabr, just endure. But we are not here to endure, like, because if we keep enduring, also our children that come, they will do the same. And this is like not breaking the cycle. This is not healing at all. And even Islam, we are not encouraged to keep going with abuse, especially in the name of Islam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things I think we have to break down just to be able to just dismantle these ideas that we have. Because I feel like we have infused culture with religion. Like, oh, this is
Yes.
a part of the religion when it's actually a culture. And sometimes even saying this is culture when it's not culture is
Yeah.
trauma. It's just something
Yeah.
that's been happening over and over.
Yes.
It became infused into it. And now it's like, oh, this is just my culture.
Yeah.
Oh, we do this. But really, is it, or is it just something that's been passed down from generation?
Mhm.
And be able to kind of just like to look at it from
Yes.
two figures. But yeah, I think that's another element I think that makes it more juicy for us is because like in the Christian faith, people who are recognized with that would say like the pastor's daughter, but in Islam we have the imam.
Yes.
And I'm an imam's daughter. I'm the oldest of 9 and imam's daughter, and I think we come with our own challenges.
Mhm. Yes.
Of and then like growing up in fear-based conditioning as far as like what Islam is, and everything is like negative, hellfire, this, whatever,
Yeah.
without looking at the beauty of it, without having connection, and just
Yes.
kind of looking at religion, which is just like rituals and the outsides, and taken away from spirituality, which is the actual intimate connection with Allah, or intimate connection with our Creator, and that divine connection.
I really love how you mentioned that, because in our culture, as I was saying again, our culture, we have this kind of idea or view of God that is punishing, that is constantly being this mad, person, as you said, talking about hell and everything, and this haram police, watch out because this is haram. Or even
Yeah.
I get comments on my posts when I talk about certain delicate topics. They are like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, have some haya. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm first of all a mental health professional. I have the right to talk about these, especially because
Yeah.
I have to help people. I have to first talk about the problems, and then I should give them a solution. And even if I wouldn't be a mental health professional, like even women who want to tell their story outside, like it not only helps themselves to, to just use their voice, to speak up, to come forward for it, but it helps
Yeah.
also other women to stand up and say that you are not alone in this, and we can heal together, we can go through this together. Because in when I see how powerful it is for a man, a patriarchal man, to say to his wife, shut up, or don't use your voice, or whatever,
Yeah.
they give power to themselves in this way. Because when all these men, just have obedient women, of course, like it will be easy for them to abuse, to continue with their plans, to, to
Yeah.
destroy, to whatever. So the more women come together and join hands, and we are all one mission, and that's also what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Like we are just on one mission. That is so much powerful together than, everyone on their own. Like
Yeah.
it's different.
I think it's even more important for us as women because we are like the pillars of co-creation.
Yes.
We have been given the gift of womb.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we are birthing children or revolutions and ideas and
Yes.
creativity, we are at the center of like nourishment. And so when you heal yourself as the feminine, as a woman, it helps to heal the collective a little deeper.
Yes.
There was something else I was trying to say. I kind of forgot for a quick second. There we
No,
go with
it's okay.
the blinking out. But
I want to add that also, because we're
it's,
both neurodivergent.
yeah,
Guys, be prepared. We will have these things a lot more, like
brain farts and
yeah, freezing or looking at each other like, huh, what do you mean?
getting off
So,
topic sometimes.
yeah. Or like being distracted from things around us.
Yeah, like I just saw a mosquito. I was like, I should never
Yeah.
open that door. I just let one in. I can hear it buzzing. But what were we just talking about?
Yeah, about
We're doing
like
it again.
just a woman, like that we are life itself. Like we have this energy that is already
Yeah,
powerful on its own.
why it's important for us. Yeah, and I think it goes down to knowing who you are because if you don't know who you are, other people will tell you who you are. And just
Yes.
having knowledge, even in Islam, like the first thing was told was ikra, right? To read. So that means knowledge is important. And so I think a lot of us get caught up in allowing other people to tell us who we are, what our deen is. Like,
Yes.
so like people get married and it's like, oh, my husband is teaching me. No, like that's on you. Knowledge is on
Yeah,
you.
I love that.
Because when you don't know, like I said, again, other people tell you who you are.
Yes,
So
of
it's
course.
about having that firm foundation, that firm root, being rooted in who you are, and understanding that we are blessed with like intuition, which is divine connection, like to Allah. Like He says, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein, right? So when we relinquish that control to other people, like sometimes even I think we get into this boxes like, oh, scholars, oh, only a scholar could do this, or only,
Yeah.
and we have to understand that scholars, even with their responsibilities, they are still human beings. They're
Yes, they
still
can make
prone to
mistakes, of
errors.
course.
Yeah, and that we were blessed with a brain. Like God elevated us, Allah elevated us with a conscious brain. We could have been
Yes.
animals, you know, even though like some people like to think we're animals, we're not animals. We have this
Yeah.
subconscious program as animals, but what elevates
Yeah.
us is we have our own divine will. We're not like
Yes.
the trees. Everything else bows down to divine command. The sun, the moon,
Yeah.
everything. They have no choice, but we get to have choice. And that's what distinguishes us from. So there's a type of intellect there. And it's like, why not use your free will? You're going to be driving in a passenger seat of someone else's opinions and of what they think you are. You
That's
are
so
the
true.
driver of your life. You are the director of your life. And you get to rewrite this story how you want to. Yeah.
But I guess that idea has kind of also a lot of in the Albanian community, but it kind of has also been a tactic of men to keep women illiterate, like to not allow them to go to school, maybe to go to like universities, to build businesses or whatever, because they are being like with this excuse of, oh, I'll provide for you. But okay, you can
Yeah.
provide even if I work. Like it's not that I'm going to work or I'm building a business that you can still provide for me. Like I can use that money that I have for my business for other things too. I can invest it too. I can use it for my kids. Like it is not always that, oh yeah, my man is providing and that's it. I'm just, sitting. If you want to have that life, I'm not judging. Like if you want to have the just soft life and not do anything, that's okay. But don't also like hold or block the path for women who really want to achieve something in their life, who want to have like a legacy, who want to build a brand, like whatever. It's so beautiful when I see like women still following their dreams, their passions, even when they're a mom,
Yeah.
when they're a wife. And that is also so beautiful in Islam because like that is the example also you will give to your children. And let's not be so dependent on others, like also even on your own husband. And
Yeah.
like, and then I remember also seeing of Menk that says, don't be so attached to a person or to a place or situation, whatever, that if Allah takes it away from you, you are devastated, you're depressed. So even as a woman, you have to be prepared and always think that, okay, right now I may have it very easy and I'm having this dream life because of this man. But what if there is an illness? What if he passed away? What will you do? Like you just switched everything off and you laid it on his responsibility. But what you're going to do right now? So having an education, having like something always yours that you can rely on really helps you also to be prepared in whatever worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Not just only depend on, oh yeah, but I have a man. No, that is why you said also keep educating yourself, keep going after your dreams, build the life you want, girl. Like,
yeah.
stop waiting for
Yeah.
people.
We have this control, like this obsession with control. And
Yes.
if we understand that we are not properties to each other, that at the end of the day, we come into the world alone, we leave it alone,
Yes.
that, like, in Allahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, right? Like from
Yes.
God we come, and to Him we return. That even our children are not our property,
Of
that
course.
we just have a responsibility to like bring them up for ourselves.
Yeah,
And I
in the
think a
best way
lot of us,
possible.
a lot of us hide into other people because it takes away a responsibility as our own person. Because once you take radical ownership of your life and you understand it, it comes with immense responsibility. Like, like
Yes.
the decisions you get to decide, because where you are in life is from every decision that you make,
Mm-hmm.
whatever choice you make. And sometimes some people don't feel like you have choice, like especially if you're going through trauma or abuse.
Yeah.
You've been having that agency stripped from you from so long, you don't even feel like you have
Mm-hmm.
choice. So like I
Mm-hmm.
said, that's why it's always about just building all of that, building your autonomy as an individual and human being, standalone.
Yes, that's
And
so
then,
beautiful.
yeah, because once you're connected to yourself, then you get to connect to other people. Because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we wonder, I feel like this unity, I mean, like we're not united because we can't connect to each other, because we're not even connected
No,
to ourselves, right? Like we're not
no.
connected to our hearts, we're not connected to our souls. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why we don't even have compassion. And like when we talk about religion again, like, you know, people always talking about, oh, like I'm religious and stuff. But I find that the people who say they're most religious are actually the most harsh. And it's like, how is
Yeah.
that religion if you will become more humble, you become more compassionate, because you will be
Yes.
understanding that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you looking at someone else takes away you looking at yourself. And
Yes.
it's a form of arrogance if you think about it, because it's like,
Yes.
oh, I'm at this part, I'm at this
Mm-hmm.
level, and like you're down there.
Yes,
I know
because
this, but you don't
yeah.
know that. So it's a type of condescending thing. And I think when we understand this, and that's the thing about, I guess, neurodivergence too, just knowing that we are working with like neurotypicals and neurodivergent, that we
Mm-hmm.
get to see sometimes the nuances, and which is okay. I'm kind of going off the tangent,
Yeah,
but
but I love it.
one of the
Like,
symptoms for like neurodivergence is like
yes.
you have black and white thinking, and I feel like maybe so, but we are more expanded because we understand that things are
Yeah.
more on a spectrum,
We
that nothing is,
overanalyzed.
yeah, like everything is not black and white. There's
No.
so many gray areas in this aspect.
Yes.
Even like, oh, I can't believe we talk about love and stuff, because like I said, I like to
Yes.
romanticize about things. But even like love, for example, is on a spectrum. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like society has reduced it to like this romantic idea. Like when I find this one person, this one
Yeah.
soulmate, that's only love. And it's like love is all around you. Love is within you.
Yes. You can
You
love even the simplest thing,
yeah.
like
So
nature, whatever.
yeah, so like even like just for me, like in my work, is not just about like, you know, as a coach, not telling
Mm-hmm.
people what to do, because that's more of like a consultant, but
Yeah.
changing perspective and just opening people's minds to think differently, to see things.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I'm not here to fix you, but I'm here to be a guide, as a mirror, to help you remember yourself. Like through,
Yes.
because I learned through, even just like through my own relationships and connections with friends, that I feel like that's why I call myself a catalyst, because I feel like I'm an activator. Kind of like,
Yeah.
there was something I noticed in me, that I bring up people's shadows or something, which is darkness. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Yeah. Dark feminine energy, like,
yeah, just like their darkness. And a lot of times some people don't want to face that truth because it's
no.
heavy. It's heavy. And it's, but it's through that darkness is where you get through the light. And it's like, I
Yes.
had to go through that darkness. I had to go through those level of fire
Mm-hmm.
to be where I'm at. And yeah, it's kind of sad sometimes, like knowing that some people just don't want to confront the truth. I feel like we have like
No.
this epidemic where we don't want to face the truth.
No.
We don't want to face the darkness. We want to be spoon fed. We want everything sugar coated. And it's like,
They're scared of their consequences.
yeah, like just break the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we just lived in reality, if we were
Yeah.
just truthful to each other, it would be like more, what's the word? Like it would work more smoothly between
Yeah.
us.
Like,
Like
it's
it would
also
just,
healing for all of us if we
it's a lot of
just
friction.
continue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I liked also what you said there about, I'm not just like a coach, or I don't want to be like a consultant. In my opinion, for example, when we help people heal through really feeling everything, even the dark stuff, I think that is where the real transformation comes from, because it is not only just reading about things, or like just, oh yeah, listening to a story of a friend or family member, but when we truly feel even the things we kind of hate, or the stuff that we try and avoid, the once we start confronting that and we feel it literally in every single thing in our whole body,
Yeah.
I guess there is a true transformation, because you no longer pretend you're okay. And I guess we as neurodivergent, we kind of have this high masking that we
Yeah.
try to look good for everyone and outside. But even that, we have to kind of go out of that comfort zone and it's okay to show also others that no, I'm not okay. Like I want to cry, or I'm being overstimulated or whatever. And
Yeah.
this is also something that kind of a lot of, for example, Albanian aunties or uncles have used, for example, when they see children who are overstimulated, or when they see even daughters, for example, crashing out or whatever, they're standing up against their family, they immediately come with these Islamic verses or hadiths that, oh no, it's your mom. Who are you raising your voice? Or, for example, you're like, why are you acting like that? Have sabr. But it's not that, you can use Islam to kind of shut down someone else.
Yeah.
He or she has enough of all the pretending, of all the stuff, and then you come with your verses. It is not the moment,
Yeah.
They have to be responsible of their own wrongdoings and not just put it
Yeah.
on Islam and use it, to kind of guilt trip and manipulate, youth in general,
Yeah. That's
because they can't
reactive.
stand up against the elders, this authority. We have talked in our lives about this, that it is really important to not always obey what authority says.
Yeah. And that's the thing,
Especially
I
as
guess,
women
being as a
also.
nerd, yeah, and even as neurodivergent, because like thinking outside the box and being the ones who are formed to not conform, prone
Yeah.
to not conform. So like,
Mm-hmm.
because we could just question everything, understanding that we're just all human beings. Like we literally, this is just a human experience. We all have skin. Like
Yeah, of
I
course.
didn't decide to be black. I didn't like this color. We don't decide our neurotype to be neurodivergent. And yeah, if we just looked at it like that, we don't even decide. We don't have decision
No, but
to
that's what
be
makes it beautiful,
who,
right?
yeah. And so we just like come together and understand that our differences is what make us unique.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to understand some of us have different strengths and we collaborate on
Yeah.
that different strength. But that thing that you just mentioned about like reactive, more, it was like reactive abuse. Someone is kind of like taunting you or something until you react last minute. Now it's like, oh my goodness, you reacted, but it was kind of like, like you said, like a bottled up
Yeah,
of
it's
frustration
reactive
and resentment.
abusive, it's reactive abuse, because you bottle up, but there comes a time where you explode. And
Yeah,
then we are seen as the bad guy, then we're seen as a villain, but you did something that brought me to that point. So that is where they then try to use Islam or culture or whatever, like they try to kind of put you back in your place by dimming your light again.
yeah,
So yeah, that is something that we're really gonna deep dive into
yeah,
our podcast about
yeah.
this.
But at the root of it all is just others taking away control and your
Mm-hmm.
power,
Yeah.
taking away your agency, your
Mm-hmm.
autonomy to your being. Because once you take that away from someone, then they're
Yeah, it's done.
more susceptible to manipulate it, to be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And then we understand that everyone is their own individual, that we can just literally flow in our own individuality and just come together, like
Mm-hmm.
interpersonal relationships, then
Yes.
it'll work more smoothly. So yeah, so that's why for me, I feel like when it comes to my body work, it's always starting at the root, because I feel like we have to start the foundation. When we think about the
Yes.
Quran, when the Quran was revealed, right, it was revealed over a period of 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think like rules and stuff wasn't into the other half. So it's like
Yeah.
the first 20 years was just belief,
Mm-hmm.
belief in the oneness of God, like belief
Yeah.
in the oneness. And so when we even think about that, that shows how powerful that is. Like just the belief. What are our belief systems?
Yes.
That your actions are coming forth from your
Mm-hmm.
belief. So I think we go backwards. We like do the action first. Oh, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Especially like when someone revert, it's kind of like, oh, I need to put a scarf on. I need to do this. All of
Yeah.
these rules, and it's like that's what makes it harder for people to continue on, because we're going
Mm-hmm.
backwards. It starts from inside, like
Yeah.
rewiring that subconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
going into your belief, your vows, because a lot of us are just walking around with handed down values and beliefs. So that's why when you get to a place of like you trying to start to wonder who you are, it's like, who am I? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I'm sure you probably have come to that place like, who am I? Do I even believe in
Yes.
this? Right? And that's when you have to unlearn and relearn everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then
We even have still right now, like even when we are healing and we already have gone through a lot, even right now, I sometimes have to stand still and ask myself, who am I really, what do I really want to achieve? Because of course, like it is okay to always change directions, and maybe you feel that okay, this is not for me, or this even person is not for me, because
Yeah.
we, as we grow, as we level up, also the kind of people that we hanged around with in the past can not longer be with us right now. So like I see it as it is okay to have these changes, but just don't lose yourself and keep yourself tight. Like it is it is so necessary to, as we say also in our lives, that come back home to yourself always.
Yeah. Come
And
back onto
especially
yourself.
as a woman, as you said, we have all these expectations that yeah, you have to be hijabi, yeah, you have to, this word
Yeah.
already is for me very toxic, but you have to be.
Yeah.
It is not about having to be, like putting it as if it is a task, or you're obligating them, you're punishing them. It's not about that. It's
Yeah.
about allowing them to feel, first of all, who they are. Like, why do they want to be Muslims? Because, for example, later, if my daughter grows up, I don't just want to say to her, you have to put on a hijab, you have
Yeah.
to wear this, you have to wear that. No, I want her to grow up to find Islam herself. Even
Yeah.
if I teach about it or I show her what Islam is, I still want her, as you said, to read about Islam, to research everything about Islam, not just what she sees on social media
Yeah.
or from anyone, because it is so concerning about, even in our culture, in Albanian culture, how many patriarchal and toxic imams are talking about women. They are talking about women as if they understand what women go through.
Yeah.
If you are a man, you cannot talk about struggles that we have. You haven't been living them, first of all. Okay, you can give like generalization advice, but not go into details. For example, certain
Yeah.
people even go to the extremes about, yeah, a woman should feel this and she should say
Yeah.
this. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
How you
Like,
tell somebody how to feel? That's the patriarch system, because that's not even like in
yes, like
Islam, but that's
stop
across
controlling us.
religions, across the government. Like we talking about, like
Yes.
in the U.S. Supreme Court, we have how do you have a room full of men telling you how to govern women's bodies, right? So yeah, that's a perfect example of I, they know the power of the woman,
Yeah,
and I
it's
guess it's kind of like
crazy.
it's like
It's
they want to be the
crazy.
God, because if you think about
Yeah.
Allah is the all, like God, Allah is the all powerful. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like, let me take some of that power. And
And
they wouldn't even, and men wouldn't exist if we were here, right? Like the wombs that
yeah,
bore
like
you,
come on,
the
shut up.
wombs that bore you. Like I don't think we talk about,
Shut up. Like
like when I
if
think
you
about
wasn't
stuff
born,
like
you
that,
won't be here.
like not on, like not even trying to be arrogant, but like seriously, like
It's like that.
you know,
How do, like it's almost as if I have a son right now and he tells me what to do as a woman. I'm like, please, like what are you talking about?
yeah, like is the problem with me or is it with Allah? Like, is it with me or is
Yes.
it with your creator? Because,
You know how I see
you
this
know?
kind of imam. I see this kind of man that are trying to be imam, that kind of want to discipline, but they are not doing it at all. For example, there was one imam that literally was saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry to say this on podcast, but he really said about women who wear mini skirts and like revealing clothes, he literally called them sluts
No
and
way.
whores. And I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
now
like
see, and then
you're
we
in
go into
front
rape
of,
culture from that. Yeah.
yes, he
And
was in
that
front,
is,
and that is why I like also us being so open about these things, because these things happen more than we know, even behind the scenes. How imam talks, like how a man talks.
yeah,
If they literally call people sluts or whores because of their clothes, then you don't even allow this woman to find Islam, because they think that, oh, if I wear this, I'm already a bad person. How can I
being
even join
judging.
Islam?
Yeah.
Yes,
Judging
and
people. Yeah.
yeah, and I then do not see him as an imam. I see him as a young boy that has not healed from his own maybe father mother wounds, and he's just giving out their hate. Even when you don't talk about Islam, even just about energy. If you put out energy with all of your hate, how can you expect to be returning back love and kindness and tolerance and all these things. You are literally putting out
Yeah.
hate, and as you said, also even triggering men to rape because she has a
Some of that's that
revealing
projection.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, like she has revealing clothes. She asked for it. No, she didn't ask for it. Even if she will be half naked, you have to stay away from her. And even in
Yeah.
Islam, there are a lot of beautiful examples that you have to lower your gaze, even if she is being weird like that. You have to
Yeah.
lower your gaze and not stand up with a microphone and say that, oh, yeah, this. No. Better yourself, improve yourself as a man. And if you want to say something, be kind, help her, don't judge her, but not what I see in some imams. Oh my God. I only personally love to listen to Mufti Mang, first of all. There are a lot of others. I don't know the one. Oh my God, I forgot her name. The woman with a white hijab.
Yeah, as it start
She's
with the H, like Hanifa or something like that.
yes.
Hanifa Yunus or
Oh
something.
yeah, I
I've come
love
across her on
her.
social media. But yeah, a lot of the
I
stuff
really
is
love her.
projection too, because in the same breath, some of these imams are like head of the masjids are behind closed doors cheating on their wives,
Yeah.
right? Cheating on their wives, um,
Yeah,
and
because
doing
the
other
fact that
stuff,
they're already
sexual trauma.
talking
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Come
and
on.
then yeah, it's a lot. I know we're probably like talking all types of stuff. I know we
No,
have
it's
to like
okay.
we're gonna like have certain titles and just like go deep into that because yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many things going in my
This is
head.
just
I
our
didn't even know what to grab
introduction.
out for. Yeah,
This is just an introduction.
Well, there was something I was thinking about and I forgot. But
About these men that are behind the scenes. Like,
yeah, like yeah, there was something else because I'm just like ping ponging off of
oh,
like all
okay.
types of stuff. You're okay. I remember now. You were mentioning about just like religion, like finding your own. I didn't even find Islam until I was in my 30s, early 30s, and I'm
Yeah, but that's
36.
okay too. Like,
So yeah, and that
yeah,
wasn't until after like like my previous marriage or whatever. It was just
yeah,
and it was kind of like, do I believe in this? Like, what is it? Like I knew like in my heart that there's a higher power, that there is
yeah.
something. But then when I read it for myself, it wasn't until I got into quantum physics,
Mm-hmm.
astronomy, and astrology that I actually found Islam because I'm reading this stuff and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, that is Islam. And
Yeah.
interestingly, I think the human design, when we talk about human design specifically, that is a combination of all types of things. And I was just like, and then I used to think because that was another thing. They was like, oh, Muslims should not look into astrology, should not read it. But then when you look back into the Islamic golden age
Yeah.
era, we're the pioneers in like medicine, astronomy,
Mm-hmm.
astrology. A lot of stuff was actually even used for medicine. Like,
Yes.
and they didn't use astrology as in like, oh, I'm going to use the sun and the moon and the stars to tell me who I am, but to
Yeah, of course.
expand on the magnificence of
Mm-hmm.
what is it? Of evidence that Allah
Yes,
exists.
of
Like when
course.
Allah says, like, I will show you signs in the universe and yourself until you know that is the truth. So for me, like when I was like looking into astrology and stuff,
Yeah.
because like you get into something like this is so curious,
Yes, of
it
course.
was just proof of evidence.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we get into it, people tell people what they shouldn't get into. And it's like if your heart is moved to kind of look into things, but you
Yeah.
also to have some type of discernment, because if you're not having type of discernment and you're going there with like ill intentions, then yeah. But I
Yes, of
always like to
course.
like ask Allah to guide me and to make manifest to me the truth, and to like if it's falsehood to like
Yeah.
make me,
Like,
because yeah, because some people could be swayed by it. Like you
yes.
could go down the wrong hole and then it just like you end up in, then it's like So I'm always trying to be very mindful of that. But I felt like it extracted most of the beauty that I see in Islam now, and I get to see things now from, I get to combine what people seeing as like it's spirituality, like the
Mm-hmm.
non-Muslim realm to now.
Yeah.
And I recognize that the deficit in just using astrology or quantum physics and stuff without having religion or faith
Mm-hmm.
is that it becomes a means of take away self-reflection and
Yeah.
responsibilities. It's like I'm only this way because of the moon or the sun, the
Yeah.
stars, but it's supposed to be a way to kind of like, okay, I'm this way, this is happening, but how can I be better? Because in Islam, I think people don't understand that it's really heavy in accountability and taking
Mm-hmm.
responsibility and ownership of your life. And
Of
people don't want
course.
to do that. So when we talk about like some of the rules, like, oh, alcohol is prohibited, people
Yeah.
want to be like, oh my goodness, this is so strict. And I look at it as like, we have boundaries.
Yes.
Allah, God has boundaries too.
Yes, of
And
course.
it even says like there's some benefit in it. Like, especially when we talk about wine, it says in the verse,
Yeah,
like, there's benefit in it, but the harm outweighs the good.
of course.
And so it's like a whole manual for us. And I don't think people understand,
Yeah.
like, it's a manual for all of humankind.
Yeah, because I love that you
Yeah.
mentioned also alcohol, because we can also dive deep into that next episodes, because alcohol has also been a problem in a lot of
Okay.
families,
Yeah.
even in Muslim families, that they are supposed
Yeah.
not to drink. So, you know, it's then when it comes to, for example, using women to their benefit, oh, then they use Islam. But when it comes for their own, how can I say, their own relaxed or their own kind of sense of fun or activities, they use it how they want. Like they can be drunk, they can beat their wife, like that. That's not normal,
But you can't do
and
it. The
they
double standard.
normalize it.
Oh,
Yes, and they normalize it. A lot of like a lot, like some Albanian families, they really normalize drinking, even when they call themselves just Muslims.
yes. What about the
And that,
smoking too? Because I'm noticing that in like some
yes,
cultures of
smoking too. Like for me, it's just that they kind of have to know, as you said, who they are. If you identify
yeah,
yourself as, okay, I am a Muslim, I practice a Muslim, then don't keep doing like playing games on both sides. Like decide
yeah,
which direction you want to go. If you just say that, no, I'm not a believer and I just want to be free, like, you know, without these things, do what you want. It's okay. We don't
yeah.
judge. But don't come like also how can I say it, misusing Islam for your own
Good. Yeah,
misdoing or wrongdoings, because
yeah.
you literally also then giving, and I had this a lot while growing up, that I at certain points in Islam I was so confused, like why do people drink and do all these bad things, but then when it comes to, for example, me as a woman, they tell me to lower my gaze, they tell me to be shy, to not talk to people, to be, you know, this very
That good girl syndrome. That's that
yeah,
good girl. Like,
the
you have
good
to
girl
be
syndrome.
docile, passive,
Yeah, just obey whatever
submissive.
they say. Yeah, like,
Yeah, just
and I always had this thought of, you're not my God. Why should I
yeah.
obey
That's
you? You're
what.
just a
Yeah,
human. And that is
yeah,
where also like self-love, self-respect is so important, because whatever they want to say to you, you will never allow that. Even if this is your father or whoever, even an imam, if
yeah,
you know your worth, you won't be like so easily swayed by their Islamic teachings that are sometimes also get out of context. They're not usually always understood, because then we can go also into the aspect of four whys that we talked about once, you know.
Oh yeah,
We can also dive deeper into that, where they
yeah,
just use that as an excuse of cheating, and
yeah.
then when they see
Or
that
just not taking
there's
responsibility of.
no, and
Yeah,
how can they like just compare themselves to our prophet? What the prophet did, that was a whole other stuff, and
yeah,
a whole different era,
yeah.
history. It was different reasons. Now they're just using it as, oh, I can do what I
Surface
want.
level,
Yeah,
surface
I can do what I
level.
want.
It was supposed to be for um the benefit of a woman actually first, and it's
Yes,
supposed to be for the pillar of society. Because when you look back in history,
it was different.
biblical
Yeah,
times,
it
Islamic
was
times,
different.
whatever times, they had multiple wives, like 20, 30. I think some prophets had like
But
hundreds of
not
wives.
only in
But
Islam, we
that's
had that
when,
everywhere.
yeah, but it was reduced. Like when Islam, that's the final book. So you had the
Yes,
gospel, the Torah, and
yes.
then once Islam came, it was like, okay, this is the limit. You can have
Hmm.
8 wives and all that. You have 4. But
But even then, nowadays they can't even take care
yeah,
of one,
yeah,
let
I go
alone
back to the
two,
same.
three, four.
Yeah. And I will always just keep going back to it, just like this connection. We disconnected from ourselves. We disconnected from our creator. Because
Yeah.
if we were, we would have more compassion and curiosity. Because we also have to understand, we don't know what people are going through, the pain.
Yes.
We don't know that sometimes you have to go through these sins or like
Hmm.
these trials to get through what you're going to get through. Like,
Yeah.
even like when we think about like abuse, it's like, oh my gosh, why did I have to go through abuse? But sometimes
Yeah.
it's through that pain that you get to extract like certain type of wisdom that had you not going through it, you wouldn't have not known. Like, you know, like even like with a child is learning to walk, they're gonna fall and stumble, hurt their legs a few times.
Yes.
Sometimes you might touch a stove, but you gotta touch a stove to see that it's hot, that okay, I don't want to touch it anymore. So it's just like there's light, there's darkness, there's joy, there's pain. And to be able to understand that you see someone, you know, I don't know what can I give as a scenario, because it's like I don't really judge, but like if someone is not covered, for example, someone say like, oh, she's not modest. You don't know her life. You never walked a mile on her shoes.
Even we
And
with
plus it's
hijab, it's not that
self-expression.
we are
Yeah.
guaranteed that we
Yeah.
go into Jannah. Like we can even have more sins than someone who is not covered. Like I'm not saying we we are this way, but in the sense of how can you know that one who has a hijab is automatically better than someone else? Like it is
because I know
not
people who
what
don't.
we wear.
Yeah. I've seen many examples, because I grew up, my parents were judgmental. It's kind of like, and I think a lot of Muslims like to use this thing, like there's some hadith about you can judge with your parent.
Yes.
And that is so shallow. That is so shallow. This is just surface level. What does my scarf have to do with anything that was going on internally as a human being, and my spirit and my soul and my heart, right? And we don't know people's intention. But like I've come across, now that I'm older, because I used to have that thought too, like, oh, she's a Muslim, she's not wearing a scarf, who is she to talk about Islam? And I used to be like, I don't like the way that felt.
No.
But I was curious with that. Why did I feel like that? And if we could just have curiosity for our judgments, because that's usually just meaning something inside you. But I also recognize that a lot of women I've come across who don't wear the scarf and they talk about Islam actually are more versed in what the essence of Islam is, and are more practicing than women who are not, because there are women who are wearing scarves and veils in the daytime, but in the stripper clubs at night, but on the pole with nothing on at night. Like, let's not talk about that, right? Like, there's so many. I don't know if you know about that, but there's like double lives
in our community too. In our community too, you have even ladies with hijab on, and I'm ashamed. Like really, I'm ashamed, because I'm like, oh my god, girl, have some. Then I can say have some haya, because it's not only for like. It's for yourself, girl. Don't lower yourself to that point. I even hear like hijabis, oh my god, do like, these kind of very tight clothing, like for example leggings and stuff, where you see almost everything, and then they sing like really cursing words, like very like sexualizing about everything, and then they are supposed to like, oh my god, it is too much. And then I'm like, oh my god, you're really being disrespectful towards Islam, because modesty does not only come with clothing, it is also in the way how you talk, how you behave.
I was just
It is
about to say
telling
that.
you to have self-respect. If you go out like that, I'm not saying just only about the clothing, but the way how you're acting, it's not only denigrating Islam, but also yourself, girl. Because what kind of people will you attract if you act that way? Not people who want your good, not people who really want to know your worth. They're just people who you will attract the same.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that hijab. I was like, now that we're going to talk about that, because, oh my goodness, I don't cringe really, but it really does kind of itches some nerves in my brain when people use the hijab and just use it as a scarf, because maybe it's for me being literal, knowing that hijab is more than just a scarf. Like for me, it's like khimar. That's the Arabic, right? Like that's just a scarf. And so when people ask me like, "Oh, that head," I'm like, "It's a scarf. It's a scarf. You're talking English. It's a scarf, okay?" Because like hijab is not even just for women. It's for men. It's for just humankind.
Of
Like
course.
hijab, like you said, you mentioned, it's not just what you're wearing, but how you talk, how you move. It's just like the etiquette of self-respect with yourself and with others.
Yes,
like,
of course.
Like how you communicating with yourself and how you communicating with others. And then there's also different facets and layers of us, like how we are. At the end of the day, it's kind of less judgment and more curiosity for each other, right? Less judgment and more curiosity for each other, to be able to understand each other. Because the very thing that you judge somebody for could be the very thing that you will be tested for. Okay. You know, you judge somebody
Yes.
for drinking, but then you have a death that comes in your family, and you don't know how to cope with the sadness and the
Yes.
grief, and now you find yourself drinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that
Of
happens.
course.
Or
Of
if you
course.
smoke and you get a taste, I'm gonna just do it out of peer pressure or something. You start doing it, but it's a way of
Yeah.
coping. We all have our sins. We all have things that we do, and to just be
Yeah.
able to understand that sometimes some people need guidance or
Yes,
just
of
help
course.
and things. And
But it's also, I think, beautiful to be honest about yourself. Like
yeah,
when I know that, for example, I can't wear the hijab, I'm better taking it off than to continue wear it, and to, first of all, not know the value of it, to not be happy with it, you know, because it's not that you are just forcing yourself. It's you have to come from a bigger why. You have to
yeah,
really come from, it is a part of my identity. I see myself in this. It's not just, yeah, I'm wearing it for Muslim, or I'm wearing it for my parents, I'm wearing it to please people. No, it's not to please people.
Oh, let's talk about that. Or hijab stories.
Yeah.
I think we're already like 52 minutes and we should do that like another time, like hijab stories. Because oh my goodness, we could just go for hours.
Yeah, like
This is
we
supposed to
really
be like
have
a
to
30.
take paper and pen and write all the topics
Yeah.
we're gonna
This
go
is supposed
there.
to be like a 30-minute introduction. We have 52 minutes.
It's okay. Like,
Okay.
girl, we can even ask people who are listening to us to ask questions, to
Oh yeah.
maybe if they want to go into a certain topic, we can just dive deep into that. Um, just, yeah, like, please
Yeah.
just be honest about whatever you're going through. If you feel that no, it's too much, it's better to just tell what you're going through than to pretend, in every aspect, with Islam, with everyone, like with mental health, about everything. Pretending is really not going to help you to heal, or, as you said, to connect with yourself. The
Yeah.
more you are open, you're authentic, you show yourself that, okay, I'm going through a hard time, and even if you make mistake, if you smoke or if you drink, at least accept it,
Yeah.
acknowledge it, know the consequences of it, and then decide, okay, how do I want to live my life from now on?
Yeah. Because a lot of us just have shame of just accepting that.
Yes,
Okay, just because you're doing bad things doesn't make you a bad person.
of course.
Just because you're doing bad things doesn't make you a bad person. I'm not talking about the people who are just like, who have diseases of the heart and they have like this
Yeah,
abnormal, like,
yeah,
people
the
who have an
evil
attraction
and
for
mean people.
children. And
Yeah, yeah,
no, we're
yeah,
not talking
yeah.
about that, but just
No,
as
no,
a
no.
regular human being
Yeah, someone who is using it
experiencing,
as a coping
yeah,
mechanism without harm
yeah,
for
just
others around.
experiencing the humanity of our life, right? Like,
Yes,
it's so complex, nuanced. But yeah, like, I guess to summarize, right, we started because there's
yes,
so much silence and suppression. And it always breaks my heart, or just even makes me
yeah.
feel like when I'm just like working with clients or talking to other people,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, oh, I've been in a similar situation, or this is the situation they're in. And they have beautiful like hearts and souls. Like, you have all
Yes,
these gifts and talents. Like, Allah put you on the earth. Like, you literally one out of a million sperm cells. Like, you are one of
yes, you're the
one,
winner.
right? Like, you have your own fingerprint. Like, you are a divine being.
Yes, you are the
Like,
chosen.
yeah, like, you were crafted. Like, your heart is beating every day. You don't control that.
Yes,
There is so much magnificence in that. And if we get to see that, but then
yes,
you have
because
other
sometimes we
people who
forget
come and,
it.
yeah, strip
We're not
away.
always
So
grateful, as
yeah,
you said, that we have all these body functions working for us and not against us. Because if
yeah,
they were working against us, of course, then comes illness, then comes death, and all these things.
yeah.
So,
So
alhamdulillah, that we are living every single day.
yeah. So the cycle ends here. It ends with us. I definitely ended with my family, and I want it for generations to come.
Yes.
It's like once you speak up, you start to speak up. It gives other people permission to speak up,
Mm-hmm.
because now they feel like, okay, I'm not alone. One, because a lot
Yeah.
of people feel alone. And then two, is like, now I feel like I have community. Like, oh, I'm
Yes.
not the only
They
one. So now
belong
I get to do
somewhere.
it. Yeah, you feel, sometimes you don't know how, not seen, what's the word? You don't, I think there's probably a quote. Sometimes like quotes come in my head, but
Yeah.
you don't know that nothing is wrong with you until you recognize there are a lot of other people who are dealing with the
Yes.
same things, and you recognize, you know what? There's like nothing really wrong with me. It's just a part of the human experience, a different experience
Yes.
that I just haven't connected to those people. Please forgive me, y'all. My
So,
phone. heated up and shut off. So now I'm back in the house because I had to hurry to cool it down. We were at the end. What were we talking about?
We were talking about just all the topics we were going through about the wars and like everything going around in the world.
Oh yeah, the
How
spiritual
it
war.
really is a reflection of what is going on inside of all of us. So yeah.
Oh, now my house is quiet. Oh, now the kids are quiet.
So I'm so happy like for our first episode. Like it was so amazing, and as you know, we always go with the flow. We just topics, we go deep into those different things. I can't wait for our next episode. And yeah, my daughter is kind of
Okay. Yes. Thank everyone who tuned in. Thank you so much for
thank you
tuning
so
in.
much.
Yeah. Follow
Take care of
the
yourself.
Musìda,
The Musìda
the dot
Podcast.
Musìda dot podcast. And
Yes.
on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna be open to
Yes.
Spotify. So those who don't want to watch it and you just want to listen to it, like while you're doing some chores or like on your commute to work
Yeah.
or whatever, then yes. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Indeed, God will not change the condition of people until they change what is in themselves.
Trauma is not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Change starts with you.